Recording. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Influential Coach podcast. And I have a guest, and normally I always have a guest. And I want my guests to present themselves to say who they are, their name, where they come from, a little bit of background story, what they do coach, and we go from there.
Wonderful. I think that's so smart because my name is crazy to try to pronounce if you don't know it.
That is the main reason why I start with this, because I always misspell things and it sounds weird. So I always that is the real reason, but please.
The truth comes out, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm Yvette Troyna, and I call myself a positive living maestro. I'm almost 55. Oh, April 20th is my birthday. So I'll be that one who's, I can't drive 55, right?
Okay. It's funny. You are born almost in the equinox of spring, right?
Uh-huh.
I was born on the winter solstice, 21 December. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. Yeah. That's good. I've one of those people that I'm a 420 baby, so yay for that. And then also the cusp. So some people say I'm Aries, some people say I'm Taurus, and I have both of those personality traits all mixed together. So I'm one of those people that I'm terminally happy, and that almost killed me. I have a toxic positivity background story that's real thick and real heavy. And so now I'm a positive living maestro because I know the difference. So yeah, I grew up in a rough situation, and the way that I got through it was through being the good kid, always smiling when things are really, really bad. And before we get going, how are 4-letter words on your podcast? Acceptable, unacceptable?
Oh, bring on.
So anyway,
I always find myself saying fuck, shit, and things like that. So
good. So that whole shit, fuck, piss works for you?
Yes.
Good. Well, anyway, I grew up with a bunch of bullshit. It was a very popular organized religious setting, and you know how that's been going for women. And so I was raised to be the Cinderella and always smiling and always having to be beautiful and look good and all that. And then all the garbage is going on, right? You just got to pretend like it's all good, and it's really not. So I got really good at smiling through crisis. So good, in fact, that I made a business out of being a wedding caterer. And I could calm down the mothers of the brides and make everybody all happy, and then be suffering in the back, and nobody ever knew. So in 2020, you can imagine food service didn't handle that crisis so well. And I also had a bunch of loss. 3 people that I loved died. And I had just come up through a bout of cancer that I healed on my own, and all this big stuff was going on. So I was worn out. And then I found my husband dead on the bathroom floor, and we had only been married a year. So I tried to revive him for an hour, and it took the very last of my go juice. And I was out for 2 years. I've been recovering with this adrenal crisis, and all the organs I had left in my body were affected. So it's a real heavy, ugly story. And I don't need to go there now because I'm almost out of the woods. I'm still under doctor's care. And while I've been on my deathbed for 2 years, quarantining and all that shit that goes with that, I developed this benefit company called Superpower School. And what we do is we help people who are tired and wired, like I've been forever, get over all of that toxic positivity and learn how to be authentically happy. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I don't know what to start.
Oh, sorry.
No, let me do a little note in something that you said. So background story on me, I work on TV, I did play-by covers, I did maxim covers in Portugal. I did tour the world as a DJ, went to 52 countries. When I was having all these kids and all this story, and that is the reason why was my capacity of building influence online in the digital world that made me start having influence, helping other people to grow their influence. And then I realized I was more than just growing the technical part. I was expanding their mindset. I was taking them to make more money. And that is my journey. But when I was famous in Portugal, I don't like to smile on the photos. And I always get the stupid photographer say, give me a smile. No, beautiful when I'm mad. So that is
I love that.
but I was watching a photo today. I don't know where it is. I am beautiful and I'm mad. The power of my eyes are so scary and beautiful at the same time. And I have a specific thing. Then I found out, maybe I just feel that I should share this with you. Like
Please do.
I said to you in on off, then I had a girl and she's 7 years now. Yeah, Max, mom thinks about you every day. There it is. And one day I was dressing her with a dress. And she had this long hair, and at least last time I saw her. And I dressed her and I said to her, go show to dad. And then automatically I grabbed her and said, no. Watch yourself in the mirror. Do you like it? Oh yeah, mom, I love it. Okay, that is the only thing important.
That's so good. You got it, girl. I'm so proud of you. That's awesome. That's authentic happiness for me right there, to help women learn that our beauty is ours, right?
To be validated for other people.
Exactly. All our lives. Yes, yes, yes. I'm with a man now he was a model in his earlier years, and he is gorgeous. And he chooses to mismatch his clothing on purpose now. He doesn't wear the same socks. He loves wearing flip-flops in the wintertime. And he's just like, fuck the system, man. And he loves me for my insides. And it's so awesome to be, try not to get emotional about this, after 3 husbands.
I feel that we're going to cry the shit out of us today. Okay.
Yeah, no crying today. We're just going to be happy. Okay, let's wash that off.
No,
But the thing,
cry.
yeah, the thing for me is that we are all on our own journey of how to find what authentic happiness is for us. And I'm so proud of you for figuring out what that looks like for you, because it's not going to be the same for me or my cat or my man or my kids or the guy down the street selling milk. It's just going to be different for all of us. And we have to tune into our own body, how we feel when we're doing stuff. That's like every step of the day. You know what I mean?
It's not just that. Like I was saying to you, so for majority of people follow me know this story, but I went out of home. I left my kids with my ex-husband, and I am in a journey,
Yeah.
self-love journey. And it is a tough decision, and I was really ashamed and stressed out. But what is real is I was not being the mom they deserve. Because the mom they deserve is like having an iPhone or Android with a very terrible battery.
Right? Yes.
How can I love them how my kids deserve if I'm hating myself for being on that relation? If I'm drinking a bottle of wine every day and shouting with my ex-husband because I feel that I'm trapped. And I want my daughter to say when she's 40 or whatever, Mom, I'm done with my kids. Can you please stay with them for 2 years? I will come back.
Yeah.
Is this good? No, have been, but I feel at the same time, and I am so obsessed in helping women. And my avatar, my target market is really people as you, like women who have a gift, women who know something that the others don't know, women who are capable, believe in themselves, are already successful, but they want to expand and they want to become the leaders of their market. They want to have their tribe. I am the I am that tools. I help them growing their influence and their mindset. And I feel that we women are, I don't know, since like the Me Too movement, and I think it was like the first glimpse of, oh no, hell, we are done with this shit.
That's right.
It's finished. We all passed there. And then the men around us, in special, and now I'm going to guys, the white guys around us. And that is they say, oh, but I don't understand. Or Oh, maybe she said she was abused. Why a woman is going to say she was abused in special many years after for fame?
Right. It's not for fame. It's to love other people and help us understand that we're not alone. And it's a part of for me, it was a part of purging. And like in 2020, my husband died in January. And then we had shelter in place hit, I don't know, in this country was like maybe March or April. I was in grief. I didn't know, right? Okay, we had the funeral in February. And then shortly after that, I mean, there's a bunch of other stuff that went on, but just suffice to say that my business, I was trying to help my community have food. And where I lived was kind of remote and a lot of older people were there. They didn't have any place to go get food because, we were staying home. So I converted my big, huge catering company that fed hundreds of people every weekend down to this 1 meal per person delivery thing to try to support them. And I hadn't really come out with my story at all because it wasn't a part of my day-to-day thing at the time. I was still sick though. And then the original abuser in my past showed up in my house about 2 months into this grieving process while my adrenals are shot, right? And I still don't know this is going on. I just know that I'm in grief. I've never been that way before. And my brother died 3 weeks later, my husband died. Then all of a sudden, my mentor also died. My mentor, my old Gandalf mentor, died as well. And I'm just like, kick me while I'm down, why don't you, people? And then all of a sudden, so I'm trying to.
I'm sorry, but I'm sarcastic like that. Instead, like I had weeks in my life, then like when Monday, my best friend, he have HIV. Tuesday, my father is arrested. Nobody knows where it is, what prison, deportation. Wednesday, my kid comes back from Thailand from his father and decides he's going to live with me. I'm pregnant of 33 weeks. My waters break and I'm going to emergency. This is just half of the week. So not when someone dies, like I understand you, sister.
You do.
Bring on.
Yeah, bring it more. Bring it more.
I always feel like and now.
Yeah, exactly. Whose monkeys in the circus are we dealing with today? Are they my monkeys? I don't know, but they're in my face, so I got to deal with it.
You can do the plates and you can do the lions at the same time.
Yes.
Sometimes it really looks like the universe, gods, the creator, they are joking with us.
They have to be. Sometimes I think, or are they just sitting up there going, okay, let's see what else she can do. Let's see if she's going to crumble today. She's
more people now on you. Yeah.
Exactly. And then I finally learned through, like, I'm trying to convert my business that's now failed. I watched $250,000 in revenue go away in 12 hours while I'm sitting in my pajamas, sheltering in place, bawling my head off every day because I missed my husband and all the stuff, right? And it's like, could I just get one more pile of shit pie to eat today? I just can't do this anymore. And the original abuser from my young childhood walked in my door. Yeah, just walked right in without knocking. And I don't know if you've ever been in a crisis like this, but when your body catches on that you're continually in crisis, it starts to shut down. And so that day, I'm just sitting there doing my business, and all of a sudden the hair stands up on the back of my neck. And I turned around and there it was, just standing there like it was okay. And I'm just like, okay. And I could feel everything go clunk, 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 clunk inside. And the only way I can explain it is it was this extreme pain. And I told myself I wasn't going to tell the story on your show today. I'm so sorry.
Don't be. It was, we do it like this because it needs to be like this.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good, because I'm trying to be not the trauma dumper. That's the new catchphrase. People have to be ready for it.
No, so. I think we are the same kind of people. The ones who suffer, so they make from that fuel petrol, electricity to come and help the people. So
yeah, you're right. Okay. Thanks for that.
With the full connection and respect.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that a lot. It means a lot, because I have all these notes here to keep me on track, because that story is so dark and heavy. And so I'm just ignoring them now. Here they are. They're going away. So Yeah. So I was in bed. I couldn't get up, and I was stuck like that for a year. And a male doctor specialist claiming to be able to fix me over the phone gave me really horrible, shitty advice. Said, don't move. Your adrenals are gone. The more you get up and move, the more you're going to die. So here, take all these pills and you'll feel better. And we'll do a blood test remotely, and we'll do a hormone test remotely. And they sent me this silly little kit, right? So I don't know about you, but all the healthy medicine that I've learned about says you move, you get up and you move. You have to keep, especially with even with people with the big C word from last year, you know, the pandemic thing that I won't give any word to. They were saying that you're supposed to move even when your lungs were full. And here I was laying down. I only got up to pee and take a shower and go back to bed.
No.
For a year. So all my other organs started shutting down, and I sold everything, moved myself in a sedan with 2 suitcases and my cat and my man. We moved up to Oregon because there's a woman up here who's a specialist, and she knows her shit. She is incredible. She's like a Nazi with me. I can't get away with anything. Once a month I go see her, and she does more tests. And we've been slowly uncovering that all my organs were affected by hiding behind toxic positivity and all the abuse that I grew up with. And you know how it goes, where I grew up in a situation where the male role model in my life was my original abuser, and the church that they chose to take me to perpetuated that. It was a gross thing where the girls are okay to be abused. And so I married into it. You know what I mean? You marry your abuser, even if you actively try not to. That's what happens so much. And I was like hell-bent on marrying the opposite. And I still did it. So the first husband was just worse. And the second husband was a cheating son of a bitch. And he was a weakling. So I thought, oh, I fixed it, right? You know, you go the opposite extreme.
The guy project, then we think he have so much potential, then we can make it right. No, I can give you the tools and you can be big, you know, and then yes, you can take care of me. Oh my God.
That's so true. Oh, do you feel my pain? You feel your pain.
No, you know the most weird thing, and I tell this story because I don't know if my father is watching this, but hold yourself. During like many years, I did not realize I had been abused.
Right.
Many years. I felt
Yes.
I was 12 years old. My father had some friends at home for business, and there was this guy who was 32 years old, was dating me, and I was 12.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't understand that. And then my stepmother called me a whore, and my father said he don't trust me anymore. And my father, until a few weeks ago, he could not remember then this did happen. What makes me like, what you mean it did not happen? At the times after and before, and you know, I don't have any hate. I don't even remember his face, or but the thing was that damaged me, the fact that my dad said to me, I don't trust you anymore. And I just realized like 4 years ago, watching a documentary about abuse, then I did not have a boyfriend of 32 years old when I was 12. I was abused.
Yeah, you were. That's absolutely the truth. You were not in a mental situation to make that choice.
And how that affect me. And you know how I found out that is so funny, because I knew it. I did need to change my money beliefs. I'm very obsessed with money, on the sense of the last couple of years I have been finding tools to change our money beliefs and to make us next one. So that is something, that is a pancake was coming in. So the thing is, my limitations about money were not connected with my mom dying. My limitations about money were connecting with my abuse.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
all the other relations that I brought in, including, and you can be abused for your husband on the sense that he don't even realize, honest, that he's abusing, because that is what he is. And people are not perfect. People have things that probably I will like and you will not like on the same person. I will feel that it's okay and you will not, so because we have different boundaries.
Yeah.
It's not their fault many times. They are like that, and we choose to stay on that because we don't wake up. But then comes the pain. The hardcore pain came not from me staying on relations that were abusive, came from me not going out, on the sense that myself were shouting. My body was shouting. I had moments, then if I was talking like I'm now, a little bit more, I start coughing. Just to not being able to talk. So imagine.
That's right.
Imagine. So I found you, I'm always smiling and I'm always happy, because I always say, God or the universe took so much from me so early, then I just have to. The thing is, I allowed myself to feel, but I don't allow myself to hurt myself before. Like 3 days ago, and this is the podcast about you, I don't want to be like, 3 days ago, I was texting with someone with I have a relation, and I knew it. Then I was taking the conversation to a moment where he's going to say something that is going to hurt me. I catch myself doing that, and I said, no way, girl, it's enough. You are not doing it. I saw anxiety and panic attacks, and now but that anxiety and panic attacks, one day I woke up, I always wake up with nightmares until at 4 a.m. And I woke up and I decide to heal myself on the sense then, anxiety, I know you are doing your best to protect me, to push me. If it was not anxiety, I was not in Mexico in this moment. And I respect you and I understand, but I'm safe now and I'm taking care of myself.
That's so good.
Our body will say, friend, you are not alone. Like not your brain can define. Take care of the box where your soul is, right?
Yes. That's so good.
It was not the plan for this podcast. Okay. I love it. When did you become a coach?
Well, I'm not actually a coach per se. I'm a maestro. The reason why is because my heart gets too attached to people one-on-one, and I feel their suffering and I attach it to myself. So I had to physically distance myself from the one-on-one stuff. I started in 2020. I have a bachelor's degree in positive psychology. And so what I'm doing now is going to Portugal, of all places, to finish my PhD work at University of Lisbon, so that, because they have a program there.
You go to Portugal for positive singing?
Yes.
Okay. So let me tell you something.
Okay.
Portuguese, like I think you know, but the thing is, in Portugal, and the reason why I don't live in Portugal, and any Portuguese person was going to be very upset with what I'm going to say, is Portugal, from all Latin-speaking countries, Latin-based language, is the most sad one, on the sense that they are very nice, but they live on the mentality of poor me, poor me, poor me. I'm not in control of anything. Is the government, is the boss. If you have money, it's because you are drug dealing or you are prostitute, or it's like mentality, religious mentality, where main music, the name is fado, and fado means literally like a terrible destiny. Like,
wow,
my fado, este é o meu fado. This is, this is my like Maria Madalena, or, you name it, Jesus Cristo, and I never, like, I lost I could write 10 books. I lost everything and win everything. And I was so addicted to the surviving skill that my father said,
Yes.
yeah. Then each time I was good, I sabotaged myself.
That happens so much. It's uncomfortable. It's scary to be in that unknown. And we tend to unconsciously go toward what's familiar, what we know how to maneuver through. And we don't even realize what our brain is doing because, you know, we don't want to be miserable. We don't want to stay in abusive settings. Nobody wants to. But somehow, unless you become really aware, and like it sounds like that's what you teach people to do is be aware. And that's what I'm trying to do too. The tired and wired feeling that you're experiencing from being full of anxiety is a marker that your adrenals are drying up, they're wearing out, they're trying to poof. You can imagine, this is what I did when I was laying on my deathbed, was just imagine these tiny little glands that are being whipped by your brain. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And you just can't after a while. You have to replenish them with peace and comfort and rest. And if you don't do that, you're going to die. So, you know, it's that whole thing.
Kill yourself. And I'm very upfront with this. On these 6 months that I'm on Mexico, I have the most fun days of my life, and I had days that I didn't want to die. But it's interesting because yesterday I was having this conversation, and I have no problem to talk about this because I feel that it's important to say if someone is having dark thoughts, please reach out to someone.
Yes.
You can try to kill yourself and succeed. I tried to kill myself and I did not succeed. Thank God. But and I don't like to do things where I'm not good at. So this is
right.
But I was talking with my boyfriend or partner that I have in my life at this moment, and I like what have been my life and these dramas and this combination of alcohol with antidepressives, because I never drink alcohol and I was not aware. I drink in, you know, all these mixes and all the emotions. Then I didn't need to take all the layers then are on top.
Yes.
I was a mom, I was a wife, I was a DJ. And then who's Rita? And you pour that, and that is like a skin from a snake who comes out, and you try to find yourself. And I'm so weird relaxed on the last 2 weeks, last week and a half.
God, that's good.
And that feels like finally I'm coming together.
Good.
Hard. And I cannot imagine, I'm talking about me, but I'm putting myself next to you, and I cannot imagine how you go through, because I know what it is to lose someone that we love.
Yeah.
How you go through for losing two persons that you love in such a small amount of time, and that pain is sick.
Yeah, it was really a strange, it was surreal. My memory, there's another part of it where my brain split. It was like I used to be super logical and creative at the same time. This is why I was really good at catering, because there's a lot of logic and scaling up recipes and strategizing. And then the creative part was my favorite, displaying and make sure everything was beautiful and all that. And so I remember, let's see, Adrian died January 20th, and February 11th was the funeral. And then right after that, I learned that I'd had this physical split. So PTSD is a brain injury. It's not a mental disorder. It's actually a physical problem that heals. So I had a PTSD situation going on there because I was the one that found him, and I tried to revive him, and I just tried too hard for too long. And it was an ugly time, of course. So then I found out other things after he had passed, that he wasn't all that I thought he was. And I won't talk about people who are on the other side in a negative way, but that was just, you know, like we were talking earlier, you get kicked in the guts and you just keep on getting kicked and kicked and kicked. So I had this brain injury, and I still have, you can see when I'm looking that my eye still kind of twitches and goes a little off. It's like I have this
I think you are beautiful, whatever.
Thank you, sweetheart. You're the best. But I didn't know how to write a check anymore. I couldn't drive anymore. And I'd been this extremely independent, trailblazing woman my whole adult life. And so once I got out of that religion, I just flew. It was a beautiful time for me to grow. And I started all these businesses. I used to have a positive newspaper, and then I had the catering company, and now I've got this beautiful benefit company. And I just couldn't remember anything. I was a basket case and I was a child. I wanted to just do 3-year-old stuff because that was where the trauma had started, was when I was a toddler. And I didn't remember it, just like you. And all of a sudden, while I'm on my deathbed, because that original abuser walked in my house, it triggered something when I was already down, I guess, and vulnerable. I guess I don't know that part yet, because like I said, I'm still healing, but I was an invalid, and it was horrifying because I would lay there and not do all the 50 million things that I normally would be doing. And I just had to deal with it. I had to face it. And that was the most grueling part of the whole experience, was having to face my inner demons alone with no comfort. You know, my family was far away and they were all sheltering in place. I had nobody to hug me or comfort me or remind me that it wasn't going to always be this bad. And it sucked balls. It really did. I was very alone. I was completely alone. And so because I was having this brain injury in the middle of it all, I would go from feeling amped, like I got ants crawling through my bloodstream everywhere. Oh, I'm laying in this bed. I can't get out. I can't walk. I can't move. And I just one day thought, well, this is it for me. I thought I was going to live to be 100, but nope, I think this might be the end for me. And
You
then
are 100. You are.
pardon?
You are going
Yeah, I am now. I have a second life. I really am living a second life in the same skin bag. So anyway, I was laying there one day. I had this wild epiphany that, and the weirdest thing, part of it was with the brain injury, was that I had these brain fevers. I would wake up in this puddle of sweat from head to toe. My head was on fire and it smelled like, have you ever had a car where the radiator or the fluid or something is burning? That's how it smelled in my head. It was so weird. And so later on, the doctor explained all this to me, but I'm telling you, you have to protect your system. You have to take care of your adrenals, and it requires acknowledging, like you are, what you're doing now, putting yourself first, is being the best example to your family that you ever could be. I'm so proud of you. I really am. Good job, lady. Just keep doing what feels your best every day and check in with yourself. And so the beautiful thing that I learned in this whole experience was how to meditate, which was absolutely not my Aries nature. I'm always like the first one to get up, to go do the thing.
You know, when you meditate and you see always the duration of the meditation. Like, I love Joe Dispenza, but guys, please don't 50 or 60 minutes in meditation. They're crazy. I'm a Sagittarius. Please, God, stay me.
Yeah, you just paid it, because I had to listen to him to learn how to settle down. And I'm laying there going, how does an Aries meditate? So I created an Aries meditation.
Yeah, I do the morning and the night ones from him because it's 20. Because, man, please, God, the space, I love you. It works. He always fell asleep. Like 3 days ago, I was with my boyfriend here at home, and we love to do meditation together. That is something that, when you find someone who loves to look to the stars and have conversations about the stars and the moon, whatever they are, that on this moment is what I need. And he said to me, let's do the night meditation. That is his favorite. And we put the computer next to the bed, and then he starts, said, sit straight, and we
I know, I love that. Sit up straight, right? It won't work.
the center, find your center, in like 2 seconds we are
That's the best. I listened to Being Supernatural. There's a series on Gaia.com that he does. And he's like, when he gets on the mic, he's got that voice, right? And he's talking to his audience.
Oh, wait, I have a extra thing. I'm listening to the meditation in Spanish because my boyfriend is Mexican. So
Perfect.
100%, but it's not Joe Dispenza because he have that thing on his voice. And you
Yeah.
go, love him. I love him. I love him because I learned I know the day because I did my passport that day, but I learned to catch the voice inside of my head, you know,
Oh,
and I learned with him. Then it's an obvious thing, obvious fucking thing. But I know it. I can catch her, and I can. Oh, thank you for sharing.
I need to learn that part.
Oh,
I still need to get that part.
you will. I did not even know about this meditation. You will feel when is the other side. So when is the other side talking with you? Like,
Okay.
I don't allow, like, I used to be so bad for myself. And the situation where I was, and I did want to leave my marriage for 5 years.
Oh yeah, I know. Staying is so hard.
I was staying and I was getting mad and my body was taking me. So in November 2020, I start writing love letters for myself.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Love letters for myself. Like, just when I was small, but why is this about me? Okay, well, I'm going to share something.
Keep talking, girl.
When I was small, we can do whatever we want. So, okay.
That's right. It's your show. You just keep going for it. I'm enjoying the hell out of this.
when I was small, I grew up in Africa on a cocoa farm, and I did not have brothers and sisters. So I used to play in front of the mirror. And when I tell this to my students, sometimes they say, "Oh, he sounds so sad." I don't think he sounds so sad. I have a deep connection with my reflection, and it's my best friend, and she's never going back. And I feel then I didn't need. I felt before I went to Passion. I'm in Passion since 1 year, and before I went, I didn't need to send a video to the future. So at 9 November 2021, no, 2021, no, 2020, well, last year, okay, 2020, exactly. I sent a video to the future and I said, I know you are scared of success because it's going to give you wings to fly away. But it's time for you to start helping people because that is your journey. And I knew it at the moment then I was going to start making money, and I did make 85,000 in 5 months.
Wow.
I burned out myself at the same time, and then I really did need to take 4 months off, and that is where my mom appears on a dream, and she said, and I just dreamed with my mom and my daughter few hours ago again. And I never sleep on the afternoon, but I fell asleep and I dreamed with her. I saw my daughter on my back.
Oh.
And I was able to, when you change your money beliefs, even if you are not working, money comes to you. So I won some money from my grandma, and I used that money for be here without working. And that was a gift from my mom. And I dream with her. I'm older than my mom was. My mom was 39 when she died. I'm 41. And and I don't know why I'm telling this story on the podcast where you are the guest, but
it happens a lot. I think that's my superpower, is letting people feel safe talking about is that your mama?
No, it's me. No,
it's like, you look just like her. Wow, you do.
Like her.
Yeah. So it is one of those things where I had that same thing happen while I was on my deathbed. I woke up one morning and I had this beautiful epiphany of superpower school. I didn't know what to call it at the time, but I love all the superheroes and Marvel comics. And I sort of would escape in that because I felt like somehow it gave me just my child side, the feeling of you can overcome, you can be the underdog, you can come out ahead. You know, they all have that underdog story, right?
Underdog. My name used to be Rocky Valente, and it's my DJ name. Rocky, not because of Rocky, but because of my dog. And I was this mom of 6 who was an international DJ. You don't get more underdog than that.
That's right. That's so cool.
My camera. It is, but underdog. So it's funny because I normally say, then I transform people in digital superheroes. So we have that in common as well.
That's good. Yeah. I knew we'd connect in a good way. That always works out like that. I've given myself the gift of not spending time with anybody that if my heart doesn't sing when we're together, even if we're talking about these that make us cry, right? These horrible stories we're sharing, but it's still from this position of positivity, meaning real happiness, not the fake shit that you use to get yourself out of a really bad situation or keep yourself there too long, whatever it is. You know what I mean? So one of the things I want to share with you personally, when you mentioned earlier about the anxiety and stuff, is that you can overcome that with Dr. Joe Dispenza. He's one of those great people for it, you know, the way he talks about stuff. But I found that it's so broken down into 2 very simple steps. One, if you go big picture, it's positive. If you go really small, it can be negative, meaning my panic and my anxiety would happen when I would fixate on how my body was feeling in the moment, because I didn't know if I was going to die from this whole brain fever bit, and it scared me to no end. And then I was so consumed with my sweetie, who was we were a quarantine couple. He showed up when everybody around me was taking advantage of my grief and my sickness, and they were destroying my home, and they were taking advantage in a really big, ugly way, eating all my food and not contributing. And it was just really gross. And nobody could be evicted during that time, but he found this really cool way to get them to move out and go somewhere else. He turned on this Black gospel music full volume and pointed it right at the window in the house that they were staying in. That was my house. And he just cranked it all the way up and made them horribly uncomfortable. And he would just do these things all day. He would pay them to do their own chores. These are grown men living in my house. And it was really ugly. And I was too sick to even get out of bed to do anything about it. I didn't even know what was happening until he told me. And so by realizing that if I fixated on my physical nightmare of a situation, all that was happening around me, what was happening to my body, everything in the moment. They say we should be in the now, right? We're supposed to stay in the moment. But sometimes when you're having anxiety, that's the worst thing you can do. So you have to either go micro, like Ant and Wasp, that character in Marvel stuff, you know, they get on the micro level. And then at that point you can feel better because you're concentrating on just your breath or something that's just right in front of you. And then, or you can go macro, where you're looking at the whole world as a big picture, and that right now, this thing that's giving you anxiety is just a very brief moment in time. And then it starts to settle down. And one other thing that I've just heard that I haven't had to try because I mastered it with this other technique was they used to say, take a deep breath, you know, inhale, exhale. But now they're saying, hold your breath, because it makes sense. If you're breathing too much, you can't let anything settle down, right?
But it sounds interesting. For me, I need to say that the magic thing came, and I'm studying to be a practitioner, is with EFTs, with tapping.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Tapping is magic. I always say, this is like fucking electricity. Or airdrops. No fucking idea how it works.
Right? You don't need to.
But no, I don't know. I don't know how planes fly, because that shit is heavy.
Yeah.
Right? So that being said, tapping is totally ridiculous.
It works. You know how?
Works for love, works for self-love, works.
Yeah.
And my question is, if it works, why we don't do it? Like I have a tapping routine that I do every day in the morning. And now I have a meditation, business kind of meditation to expand myself and fun. Then bringing people in as you. Then I do every day on the morning. But if I do more money tapping, I make more money. So why I don't do more money tapping? That is a question and is under in my head. But
I agree. It's so frustrating. I know it's good and I haven't done it for months. I know what you're saying. Keep talking.
I know I love tapping. I mean, love for tapping. I feel tapping. I love positive affirmations, but just how do you say Ho'oponopono? What is the I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you? Do you know what is?
I don't know, but I like it.
But you can just like, if you don't want to tap in nobody, other people seeing, if you tap, just say. And the fact that you say, oh, I have so much anxiety, but I deeply and completely love and accept and forgive myself for now and all the other times that I could not handle my anxiety. I'm not broken. It's just my body communicating with me.
Yeah.
And like you go through all the points and you say the things, and sometimes on money beliefs, I was doing a series of tapping for money beliefs. And one of the sessions was about, I believe that people with money are abusive. And I never did think I believe in that. But in the moment then I start tapping, I see the energy shifting. I say, wow, how many talk about money? Because I'm very focused on money, on the sense, money as a poor guy. Like money is punched on the face and he's grabbed and he said, but it's just energy.
Exactly.
It's energy, and saying I love money and money loves me, or say I'm a money magnet. Each time I touching money, each time I pay money, to have like an altar for money at home. That are all things that help me in any moment. For example, at this moment, I lost my card. So that means I don't have any cash with me or any cards working with me. I should be freaking out. I have food on the fridge. I will find a way I can pay digital things so I can still move. I will survive. So it's, but if it was 2 years ago, I was jumping out of the building.
Right. Yeah.
And tapping brought me that, tapping energy pools and finding the beliefs and the rituals, because women need to have more money. We need more money in our lives.
We do. It's an exchange of energy.
We need more money in our lives, but we are talking and it's almost 1 hour, and I want to know about your project, your app, what people are you looking for? This was to be an ode to you, like, and it became an ode to women and sisterhood. That is beautiful as well. Tell me
it is beautiful.
Projects and what can people expect from that, and how they can reach out to you as well.
Oh, thank you. Well, probably the easiest thing, I'm kind of all over the social media scene. There's a closed group on Facebook called Superpower School Co-ed. And the quickest way to get an overview of what we're like and the flavor behind it, I built all of our social media content myself. So our website is superpowerschool.org. And that's got a QR code that leads to my Passion app, which is Superpower School Inc. But with Passion, I didn't want to go the Google Play Store and the Apple Store route. I didn't want that big brother crap. Yeah, I went straight for the link.
I don't have app. I don't use the app. I love the community. Yeah. And I love the way they teach the framework for you to make money. And I think
it's wonderful.
Company. I think Passion is a beautiful company who very heart-centered, and is where I find people as you.
Yeah, I love it. I'm so impressed. I've only been there for a couple months now, and I was just dazzled because I have a different approach to everything I do. I'm super authentic and open because I know a lot of introverted people, and they've always thanked me for being out there with my truth because it helps them heal in private when I'm healing in public. And so to be part of this group, when I started building the app, my brain is still healing and I don't remember everything, right? And so growing all my businesses myself is what I expect to do. I don't want to pay somebody else to do my marketing. It's never what I want. So getting in there,
you team up with me, because
there we go.
we need to team up. I'm totally down to help you to help other people.
That would be so great. The more the merrier. It's a big organization, and I want people to buy a chapter to start in their own community. That's how it all started. I don't know if you're aware of BNI. It's an organization that does like weekly meetings for helping businesses network with each other. I took the format from how they meet once a week.
Dubai. Was invited to one in Dubai. Yep.
Yeah, they're cool. I love their model. So I copied the meeting structure for how Superpower School works. And I have this whole training program because there are a lot of people, especially coaches, that started out in the pandemic and they got stuck and they're feeling overwhelmed. And so this the chapter option is where I'm not your boss. You own your own business. And I give you the curriculum because it's all the positivepsychology.com curriculum that's accredited and science-based, and it helps you feel better. And it focuses on well-being and resilience and mindfulness, and then just really beautiful stuff. And that's what my app does. You go in there and you can click triage. Say you're driving down the road and you've got a panic attack that hits and you just don't have anybody with you. And you're just feeling that sense of choking out, you just can't function. You just pull over, click the app, and then there's a triage section in there with these gorgeous meditations that just 3 or 4 minutes that help you get back on track. And something's funny, something's heartfelt, something's inspiring. And then I have all the curriculum in there too. And that way, people who are, they can't afford a membership, or they don't want to go to a physical chapter to meet once a week to be with other people like that, they can go to that community in the app itself. So I still want people to buy chapters. I have this whole big picture in my mind of how beautiful it'll be to help people have their business where they're making a full-time living, working like 2 days a week, and they're being someone's hero by providing this content, this curriculum that teaches people how to be truly happy, not fake happy, real happy, like the right kind.
You know what is happiness for me?
What?
Happiness for me is 2 things. One, living on the moment.
That's good.
Enjoying, like I'm enjoying this conversation, and be happy with simple things. Taste your coffee.
Yes.
Look to the view. Listen to you makes me happy because I'm deeply listened to you. The problem with the society in the Occidental world is people don't be without shoes. You need to ground yourself. You need to respect Mother Nature. You need to know that you are a little tiny thing on a gigantic.
Yes.
Right? It's not all about you. But if you can be happy having a conversation with someone, I always set intentions. I always wrap my hands to put my 2 sides of the brain, and I always set an intention. And my intention is to find people as you, because I know what I want to do. Initially, I had like a mixed avatar of I didn't want to help everyone, how it is.
Yeah.
Today, before I fell asleep, I was having a copywriting call with a mentor. Then I won a mentorship for $30,000, and I defined that I want to work with women 30 plus who are successful coach, who believe in spirituality, and we can come together and just expand and go to the world and touch more people's lives with the tools that I have. It's not that I'm going to make you be the influencer of your niche or the guy or the go-to person, but is this co-creation that helps you explode. And you helping 1,000 people, I will be so happy.
Yeah.
So
that's the truth of it. I like your vibe, lady. You're just awesome. I'm so glad we got to meet today and talk together. And I hope we get to do this again. I started a podcast earlier on, and I'll tell you what, it's something. I'm proud of you for pulling it off. I had maybe 6 or 7 episodes, and then my tech went away, my equipment went away, and I'm like, what? Not what I was just getting on a roll, man. So I'll come back around to it in a few months. But right now the app is all I'm focusing on, and getting chapters sold for people to start their own little thing and be a part of a bigger thing. I'm sorry, what?
What is the transformation they can expect working with you or working through the house?
Well, what happens is your transformation, what I teach is, here's the easiest example. When I do the training retreats for new chapter owners, I spend the first 2 days providing self-care. I have acupuncturists and massage therapists and makeover people all coming in, and amazing spa food with the chef, and really pampering and walks, and you get to stay in this luxurious place. The whole first 2 days of my training to these new business owners is that, because I want people to understand your lifestyle is not supposed to be living to work. You're supposed to be just having a life here. It's not all about going to work 40 hours a week or more, like most of us. And so I focus on that first. And then once we get that dialed in and people are used to feeling pampered and they get to really understand who they are underneath all that working layer, then I show them how I provide the curriculum. I'll handle the marketing. All they need to do is find 20 or 30 of their friends to come to this weekly meeting so they can learn how to be authentically happy together and how to deal with crisis with more equipment. You know, like the EFT bit is so important. People don't understand that really you're tapping into pressure points that release emotion. I love tapping, and you should be the expert to show people how to do that, because it's so empowering and it's so simple. You can do it anywhere.
The story was, last year I had a passion fighter who hates social media. She had 115 followers on Facebook, and she came to me because I did a post on Passion Fighter saying that my pancake was for people who hate social media, and she said me. And wow. We did, together with my other students, a session of tapping for anxiety, like we are doing now. I cut that part and she uploaded to her Facebook, who had 115 friends, and she closed 3 sales with. And I found tapping. She became one of my teachers. I did some tapping, did some viral mindset using tapping for social media, for all those things that people believe in social media. The algorithm monster don't love me, you know. I never know what to post.
Right.
What is the problem? I'm going to post this. You know, I always ask, what is the worst thing that can happen? Like, are you going to die? No. The worst thing can happen is getting 5 likes. 5 likes or 2 likes or no likes. It's better than any other thing. So just like I know the strategies and how to communicate it, my thing is finding your unique selling points, or in a perspective. I have a magic power of finding your light and creating the hook and the conversation around who you are, because I have that distance. And because I work with media and influence and how to influence other people. One of my favorite books is How to Make Friends and Influence People.
I love that book.
I love that book. It's insane good, and it's all this, I don't know, then speak about the book on how they create the book and how many times they interview people, and I love the book, and I love what we are going to do together. I know already. Yeah. I want you to tell me, if you could send a message to yourself 2 years ago, what was that message?
It's all going to be okay.
Oh my God, sorry. I don't want to cry, but it's coming from, I have a theory. I have a theory that now I know. And I was not the only one. I always believed that this moment is going to be always happening. And I believe I travel back in time to hold myself up. During many years, I did think my mom was doing that. So then I realized it's me. And it's beautiful. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, guys. This is the Influential Coach with less coaching today, but a lot of heart-centered emotions. And I don't know, how can you, like, why they need to watch this? Tell me, invite people. What what did happen here today?
I think we were real, and people are not cool with that. They have to put their catfish filters on, and they have to go through all these, water bras and,
What a bra.
and plastic surgery. And I mean, what the hell's up with water bras anyway? They add what, 3 pounds to your breasts? And it's like, what about when you take that off? Oh, that's false advertising, right?
No, it was a water bras. I did my boobs after 5 kids, but no, I never did like, no, water bras. That is a new concept. I will check out.
Yep, exactly. And that's my point. What we did today. Yep. And they feel like that too. They feel real. They're your shirt. I held one. It's like 3 pounds a piece. And I'm thinking, man, I'm already stacked. What in the world would anybody want to do that to themselves for? Just keep it light, man.
Like, and then you arrive to the moment and you need to take off.
Right. That's my point. And then the other person's like, wow, I'm a boob person. Where did they go? What are you gonna do then?
Like taking the eyelashes and taking the fake hair. But I cannot talk about boobs because one time a journalist asked me, "Is that yours?" And I said, "Yeah, I paid, so it's mine."
That's right. You own them.
What you mean to say?
Yeah, I think that's what we brought today, was just being authentic. And that is such a really important thing nowadays. People feel like they're always comparing, and they're always editing, and they're always photoshopping everything. And we're naturally already beautiful. And when you bring your truth and you share it in the right audience, it's a beautiful message to share. And I think that's what will happen today. So it wasn't at all what I was expecting. I don't think I even
but I had no expectations. I just had appreciation.
Yeah.
I create this podcast for me to get data and to speak with people and do a book about it. And I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot. Being a better coach. Listen to all of you guys. Okay, guys, don't forget to subscribe, to love, to comment, to cry with us. We enjoy this beautiful crying today. And my name is Rita Egidio. I love you guys, and I see you on the next. I see you now. You see me on the next podcast. I hope you invite me for your podcast.
I will, but someday.